Welcome to our video on the Radtel RT 470X. This is the radio that we program ourselves, and I'm just going to show you what you get in your box when you buy it from us. You'll get the little information sheet just telling you like a quick sort of start guide. You get a charging cable, belt clip with screws. Under here you get your standard antenna, and you get your extra long antenna, which we supply. That's just to help you with your airband and VHF, UHF reception. It's a really good antenna. It's really good at everything. To be honest, reception and transmission is good as well. So here's your radio. On your radio you've got two screen protectors. You've got this little one, which is just to protect it in the factory. That usually falls off. Underneath is another one which you can't really see, but you can use your nail to pick it off. Always connect an aerial before turning the radio on. This to prevent any damage. Turn the radio on by turning the knob at the top. Sometimes the knob can be a little bit stiff, pardon the pun. You sometimes pull it out a little bit because in packaging, when it's travelling, it can get bumped. On the top of the radio, you've got a little orange button. If you press that, the radio will start scanning. We'll set that up. You can change it in the settings if you wish, but we've set that up to scan. So it will scan through all the pre-programmed channels, which is quite good. It's handy, so you really don't need to touch anything at the start. Just press that, it will scan, put the big aerial on it, sit at your windowsill or at the airport, near the airport when you're watching the planes, and away you go. It will stop when it finds a signal. If you do want to use the arrow keys, you can use the up and down arrow keys to navigate to the airport. So the airports are stored in the airport code. We use the 3-digit codes for the most popular airports, but some of the military bases don't have a 3-digit code. So we use the 4-digit, or we'll just use the name. It's like Finland. You know, we've got all there's loads in here. You know, military bases, if it says Rad 2, you know, that's the radio, so that's like what channel they use. You've got app for approach, you've got info for information. See tower, TWR's tower, so that's Liverpool, that's ground. You know, it's once you know the code, it's quite simple, but it's only simple if you know how. But there you go, that's that done. On the side, you've got these buttons here, which do different things. That one's the push to talk, that's for transmitting, but we're not going to transmit. You can't transmit on airband anyway. The next one will start the radio, so you can listen to music if you wish. We're not going to listen to music, but then at the bottom there's another button which is set up, and that's seeks. So if you find a channel that you're listening to, say a ham channel or even PMR, somebody could have a privacy code on it, so you can't hear what they're saying, but you know somebody's there. If you press that, it will seek out the privacy code and then it will let you hear what they're saying. So it's no longer privacy, private. But again, you don't need to know that really for airband. And then if you press and hold it in, it will scan as well. I've just tried to set the radio up so it's the simplest as it can be out the box. If there's something you've pressed that you don't know what you've done, turn the radio off and turn it back on again, and it'll generally go back to the start where you left it, unless you've deleted something, then there's no coming back from that. On here on the right, this button here, press that. It's called the VFO button or the memory button. You can press that and it will change between A and B. So A is your top line, so it's set to C1. C1 is like for boats, but it's just left over from an old programming I used to do when I used to have ship to shore and air on it. So they're just filling up little gaps, but it's mostly air. So you can do that and it will change you from each screen. So it says at the top there A and B, A, B. Press and hold it in, it changes it to this screen, which is your VFO, so you can put in a frequency that you want to listen to. See, like that one, then you can listen to that. You can listen to just about any frequency. So it's really good, but you've got to watch as well, because if you go to some channels, you can transmit as well, like ship to shore channels and other PMR channels, ham channels. It will let you transmit, so just be careful. Obviously you don't want to transmit on channels that you're not licensed to. And you can do the same at the top, so you can change to the top screen, do the same again, go to VFO and put any frequency you want, 446, to just make one up. You can listen to that if you wished. Then press and hold it in to go back to channel mode, and this is the important mode to be in. This is where all your saved channels are. But say you have got an air show you want to go to and I haven't got it in here, you can go to the VFO mode and just input the frequency and still listen to it. Or you can ask us before you order off eBay to input the frequency for you for your air shows or your local airports, and we'll make sure it's in the radio for you, so everything's there you need. So that's quite good. There's also another button here which says scan on it, which you can press and it's supposed to scan. Yeah, there you go. So you press and hold it in and it'll scan as well. So you've got loads of scan options. They're up there, all there. You know, number one is an important one as well. Press and hold it in, and that activates AM mode across the whole spectrum. So all saved channels will now become AM, and this is very important if you're listening to UHF military frequencies, because they run on AM, but they also run it out with the civilian AM band, so they won't always be shown as AM. So just press 1, hold it in, and it will change the whole lot to 1. Change the whole lot to AM. Sorry, there you go. So that's the basics. The wee star here with the key, that locks the keypad. That's always a good idea to do. Just lock the keypad. Be safe. There's also a torch on the top. If you need it, you can set that up through the menu, so one of the side buttons do it. I personally don't use the torch, but it's there if you need it. You can set it up through the menu. To get into the menu, press OK. Squelch, that makes the noise disappear, like the snowy noise. Usually have it set to 1 or 2, unless you've got interference, then you can adjust it. Step, don't touch. Don't touch any of the settings in here, unless you know what you're doing. Because they do change a lot of parameters with the phone, or the radio, sorry. You've got Roger beep if you want to do a beep after you transmit, but again you won't be transmitting if you're listening to airband. There you go, everything's there. It's in the manual as well. The manual's quite good. Some people can say the manual isn't very good, but I think the manual's quite good, because it tells you what everything means. It doesn't tell you how to use the radio, but it tells you what everything means, because it assumes you know what you're doing, but not everybody does. But it'll tell you what all the bits mean, which is good. But it's a wee bit of a learning curve if you've never used this type of radio before. And it's a great beginner's radio as well, because you don't need to know anything in the menu at the start, because we've set the radio up for you. Do you know what I mean? So you don't need any of it. You just need to know how to turn it on and just tune to the channel. And that's it really. It also charges with USB-C, but it won't charge with a rapid PD charger. See, like this here. This is a PD charger. It won't start charging because it doesn't like them, because these are higher voltage, so the radio just says no, the battery won't take it. But if you put in a slow charger, it will work perfectly fine. Yeah, it's a great all-round radio. To remove the battery, there's a wee clip here. I find it easier if you turn it like that, put your nail in, and then just slide the battery off. It's quite stiff, because it's designed really not to be removed, unless you really need to. But again, to put it on again, just clip it in, give it a wee tap just to make sure it clips. But there you go. And that's your quick guide. I hope you can understand me. Have a good day.